I would like to introduce
Niger Weekly Trend, your top sport and weekly roundup stories around Nigeria.
I love Niger Gist.
Featuring politics, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. Know what trended in Nigeria on the Saturdays of every week.
Feel it.
And we push it.
Never miss a moment.
Hello dear listener, welcome to Niger Weekly Trend, roundup stories on the most trended issues around Nigeria. We promise to make it worthwhile. We have 8 events that almost busted the Nigeria's information reaction space, and I am sure you would love to hear them. I am Gozie. Please do not go away. Alright, let's hit the ground running. The first story we have here is about President Bola Tinubu. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu this week reaffirmed his commitment to making Nigeria a safe haven economically, politically, and socially. This time, he said that Nigerians should not worry in the heat of inflation, that his administration will bring it down. He gave this assurance while addressing the APC Presidential Campaign Council to 2024 Ramadan Iftar at the State House on Wednesday. Well, mine is simple. I have read lots of comments on this statement, but all I can say is that President Tinubu just spoke to his fellow big men. For one to be in the APC Presidential Council means that he's not an average Nigerian. Yes, he's not. He should come to the grassroots to hear the yearnings and agitations of Nigerians. Then he should look at them on their faces and tell them exactly what he told the APC Presidential Campaign Council. Totally, this is not the time for big man to big man talk. When he was campaigning, he went to places to speak to both the rich and poor just to secure votes. Now he is the president. What stops him from going back to those places he made promises that are not forthcoming? Well, you may not understand why I just reacted this way until you hear the next trending story. And the next trending story is about the NERC. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NERC) this week skyrocketed electricity tariff for Band A customers from 68 Naira kilowatts per hour to 225 Naira kilowatts per hour. There are about 5 band subscribers. Aside the Band A subscribers, there is the Band B subscribers who consume 16 to 20 hours of electricity a day. The Band C consume 12 to 16 hours electricity a day. Band D subscribers are beneficiaries of 8 to 12 hours of electricity a day. And Band E subscribers only consume 4 to 8 hours of electricity every day. So NERC this week on Wednesday increased electricity tariff of only Band A subscribers, those who consume 20 to 24 hours of electricity daily. And report reveals that the reason the hike is coming this time is because the federal government is unable to pay obligations to the Nigeria electricity market. The meaning of this hike for Band A subscribers is that they would no longer enjoy federal government subsidy on electricity. That is not the end of the matter. There are other sides to it. Nigerians are not mute on this. Of course, there are reactions from organizations, pressure groups, professional bodies, and even individuals. So far, no one has endorsed this move from NERC. The Trade Union Congress, TUC, through its Deputy President, Dr. Tomioko, came out to say that the hike in electricity tariff is unacceptable and a recipe for unrest. He also said there is no place in Nigeria people enjoy 20 hours of electricity supply daily. That is on the part of the TUC. The National Association of Nigerian Students also made their inputs. They called on the NERC and the distribution companies, the DISCOs, to reverse the tariff increment. The national president of NANS, Comrade Lucky Emonefe, in a statement said the decision to increase tariff by over 300% for customers on Band A feeder arrangement would impact on the prices of goods produced locally in Nigeria, thereby impoverishing the poor. The Northern Elders Forum, still on this development, lashed out at the administration of President Bola Tinubu. In a statement by its spokesman, Abdulaziz Suleiman, said that the government is effectively perpetuating a form of economic oppression that will only serve to widen the gap between the rich and the poor in Nigeria. He called on the government to reconsider what he described as ill-conceived decision and take into account the dire economic situation faced by the majority of Nigerians. There are lots of other reactions time may not permit us to disclose to you, but in the heat of all this, the Red Chamber, the Senate, has, would I say, given a word of consolation or tried to douse the tension. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, in a telephone conversation, said that the Senate will not abandon Nigerians. He gave an assurance that the Senate Committee on Power are studying the situation and will present their findings to Senate at plenary once they resume from recess. He further said that the 10th Senate would not be indifferent on policies, especially those that have direct impact on the economy, security, and welfare of Nigerians. Well, currently the Senate is on recess and may not have full control of situations, but recall that in February this year, the Senate rejected an announcement by the Ministry of Power to approve the proposed hike in electricity tariff by distribution companies and also rejected plans to remove electricity subsidy. So why is this hike in electricity tariff coming now? The Senate is on recess. Let's say it's better late than never. Whatever decision the Senate would take on this, Nigerians are anticipating. Meanwhile, the federal government has given reasons for the hike in electricity tariff nationwide. The Minister of Power, Mr. Adebayo Adelabu, during a media briefing in Abuja on Friday, said that the federal government could no longer afford to subsidize power to the tune of 2.93 trillion naira this year. According to him, the increase in tariff would reduce government's subsidy from about 2.93 trillion naira to 1.5 trillion naira, which would consequently free the money for other investments in the electricity sector to improve generation, transmission, and distribution. Now, let us bring this whole development down just for the benefit of those who do not understand the whole figures and band this and that. Just the implication of this matter to the lives of Nigerians. Number one, it means there will be a multiplier effect on your electricity bill. With these increments, you will pay higher amount for the same amount of electricity usage. Nothing changes. They're not going to give you more power, but give you more bill. Number two, it means that you may not be using your AC and washing machine at the same time, or use your refrigerator and television at once. Trust me, it's highly inconveniencing for those whose electricity usage are read on meter, not estimated bill. You may not understand until your next bill comes. Number 3, prices of goods may go up, especially those products that hugely depend on electricity for production. So you may need to fasten your seatbelt for more expensive products. Number 4, currently, petroleum products are not affordable. On top of that, electricity has become unaffordable. Your brother, sister, or friend may tell you that he is laid off in his job. Why? Because production companies are re-strategizing to maximize cost of running business, and part of the measures may be to lay off some of their staff. Number 5, this tariff hike has potential to cause social unrest. Of course, it is gradually breathing. You heard the position of the TUC, the NANS, and the Northern Elders Forum. Number 6, these developments sooner or later will push more Nigerians into poverty. There is no doubt about it. So many things to talk about, but we keep monitoring the situation to see if the federal government would bow to pressure by concerned citizens. Moving ahead, FIRS is next. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, trended this week. The latest update of their trend is that they came up with an apology to who? Well, let's go back to the meat of the matter. On Sunday, the day of the Easter celebration, the FIRS on its X post, formerly Twitter, shared a picture of a POS machine with the caption, "Jesus paid your debts, not your taxes." For the sake of sanity, to avoid social unrest and religious sentiments, I will not read out any of the reactions that followed that post, but trust me, Nigerians reacted, particularly the Christians, many criticizing it, saying Jesus was taken for granted and insulted. The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, also reacted. It described the message as offensive and derogatory to the Christian faith and demanded an apology from FIRS. Let me also point out that the post has since been deleted by the agency on its X account. So this week, it tendered an apology to the Christian Association of Nigeria and Christians who found its post offensive. It said that the agency did not post the flyer to purposefully denigrate Jesus Christ. It also said that the message was the agency's way of uniquely engaging taxpayers and to remind them of the need to prioritize payment of their taxes as a civic obligation. For clarity's sake, let me read in full its apology to CAN and Christians in Nigeria. Our attention has been drawn to a statement by the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, about a flyer posted on our social media platforms with the headline, "Jesus paid your debts, not your taxes." As a responsible agency of government, we would like to say we did not put out the flyer purposively to denigrate Jesus Christ or detract from the huge sacrifice he made for humanity. We are acutely aware that the essence of the Easter period is to celebrate this huge sacrifice. The message was our way of uniquely engaging taxpayers and to remind them of the need to prioritize payment of their taxes as a civic obligation. Yes, we would say the message ruffled feathers in some circles. The unintended meaning and insinuation being read into the post was not what we were out to communicate as an agency. Good a thing, this much is acknowledged by CAN in its statement where it said, "We recognize that the intended message may have been to creatively engage taxpayers. We wish to offer our unreserved apologies for this misinterpretation. FIRS, as a responsible agency, has no religion and will not bring down any religion or offend the sensibilities of adherents of various faiths in the country. Our goal is to assess, collect, and account for revenue for the well-being of the Federation. We believe it is an investment in the progress of the country when citizens pay their taxes. Once again, we wish to apologize to CAN and Christians who felt offended at the unintended consequence of our message on Easter Sunday." You have heard it, the message is clear. There is no room for religious war and sentiments. We must heal from whatever religious matters might have negatively impacted in the socio-political well-being of Nigerians. We must heal. But we move on. Let's have a tour at the Nasarawa State Polytechnic. There is a development at the Nasarawa State Polytechnic, though it is not the first of its kind. There are other institutions of higher learning in Nigeria that have treaded that route. It gives me concern and have been deliberated in many fora. This is about the ban of handout sale to students. The recent development to this issue happened during the matriculation ceremony of the newly admitted students of Nasarawa State Polytechnic for the 2023/2024 academic session on Thursday. This week, the acting rector of the institution, Dr. Nuruddin Muazu Maifata, announced the ban. According to him, no student of the Polytechnic must be left behind on account of inability to purchase handouts or other learning materials, and insisted that opportunities must be given to students to learn equitably. From the look of things, the ban may be coming from possible agitations by students. Maybe that lecturer A or B failed me because I never purchased his handouts. I frankly understand how these things play out in some of our institutions, especially the government-owned schools. As I said, Nasarawa State Polytechnic is not the first to announce this ban, but I think there is something that should come in place of the ban of handout sale. Let me share my experience with you when I did my NYSC at Duse, Jigawa State. In the first 4 months of my stay there, my friend and I, a youth corps member too, voluntarily decided to assist some students of the Jigawa State Polytechnic in critical areas of their courses. My friend Michael studied office technology management and was good at shorthand. I studied mass communication and wanted to take some of them on broadcasting courses. When we arrived at the school, I was opportuned to meet with the 200 level students of the mass communication department, and midway into our chat, I requested to see their textbooks, but guess what? None of them had a single textbook, so alternatively I opted for their notebooks, and majority provided. I never bothered asking them why they had no textbooks, but let's assume the case in Nasarawa Polytechnic played out there. What becomes the future of their learning and development of personal libraries? I am not trying to blow my trumpet, but I can proudly tell you that all the handouts and textbooks we were referred to from my 100 level to my final year in school are all contained in my personal library. I never purchased them because I had all the money. Rather, I got them because I knew I was going to need them for reference papers one day. A popular quote says, If you think education is costly, try ignorance. From experience, the highest any level of government in Nigeria can do when it comes to free education matter is to subsidize tuition fee or remove it totally. There is no government that would purchase textbooks of all levels for thousands of students in their school. So why ban the sale of handouts? Banning the sale of handouts and other education materials is akin to shutting down knowledge, making students lazy to read and research, and also limiting their scope to what they already know. A student who relies on the lecturer's notebook is limited to the knowledge contained in the notebook. Understandably, all fingers are not equal. A student whose sponsors are not buoyant can at least graduate with 5 to 10 textbooks he can call his own. There are better ways to deal with lecturers who make purchase of handouts compulsory and punish students who cannot afford it with marks. There are better ways to deal with them other than banning outrightly the sale of handouts. Institutions can set up student panel to monitor lecturers and come up with evidences of any lecturer who defaults. We have seen series of videos online made by female students whose lecturers wanted to have sex with for marks. Those lecturers were expelled and some suspended. Unless you want to prove to me that these schools that ban sale of handouts and other education materials do not have the clout in the administration of both their students and staff. If there must be a ban, then the government must distribute for free learning materials to students for better learning. Let's move to the entertainment circle. There is a very controversial issue in the entertainment industry, very controversial, that borders on defamation and character assassination. I seriously do not want to sound too professional in reviewing this. Well, let me try to make it sound more like a gossip. I love gossips. I love gossips. So let me start from the genesis. A certain celebrity, gospel singer and influencer Mercy Chinwo and her husband, Blessed Ozochukwu, posted the picture of their son on their Facebook page. You know how it goes, to celebrate and show fans the face of the newly born baby. Few minutes after the post was made on Facebook, a follower commented, and I quote, "This is the true face of Mercy Chinwo's child, and she was hiding after giving birth, but the truth is that the little baby looks exactly like singer Nathaniel Bassey. Nothing anybody want reason me. This child is Nathaniel Bassey's baby. Just maybe there was a secret away match that occurred. Otherwise, how can we make empirical sense of this?" Then another follower made a comment under the one I just quoted. This time, he posted the picture of Nathaniel Bassey with the caption, "The real father of the baby." Another person further posted a screenshot of the same issue from X, formerly Twitter, which reads, "When are we doing DNA test?" On the X platform, a user posted, "Take a look at the striking resemblance of Mercy Chinwo's son and Nathaniel Bassey. Though the duo has been working together on several projects in the past, what do you have to say?" This is the core of the controversy which triggered so many reactions. Now, to a more serious follow-up to the controversial comments and posts. The husband of Mercy Chinwo, Mr. Ozochukwu, dragged them to court, and the Abuja Chief Magistrate, Emmanuel Iyanna, following direct criminal complaint that was filed by the team of lawyers representing Mercy Chinwo and her husband, summoned the persons who made the defamatory comments and posts. They are identified as Okoronkwo Ejike, Kinsley Ibe, DJ Spoiled Kid, Terence Eckert, and Samuel Agozie. On the side of Nathaniel Bassey, who is also a pastor, he had petitioned the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ebotokun, demanding an investigation and prosecution of the persons involved for falsely accusing him of being the father of Mercy Chinwo's baby. I still can't believe that many Nigerians are less concerned about the laws of defamation. People go online and vomit gilberish just in the name of catching fun. I don't have all the words to comment on this until the court gives a final judgment. Also on entertainment, last week I gave a summary report on the award of Bobrisky as the best dressed female in Ajakako film premiere at Lagos, but I never told you that he was illicitly spraying money and matching on them. So this week, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) arraigned him before a federal high court sitting in Lagos over naira abuse and failure to declare his fame's activities involving 180.7 million naira. Bobrisky was arraigned with 6-count charge. The first 4 borders on naira abuse on different occasions and venues, while the 5th and 6th borders on offenses connected with his company, Bob Express. Recall that the EFCC arrested and detained the controversial cross-dresser Bobrisky in Lagos on Wednesday. In the most recent development, Bobrisky, whose real name is Idris Okuneye, on Friday pleaded guilty to a 4-count charge on abuse of the naira against him by the EFCC. This was after Justice Abimbola Awoboro struck out counts 5 and 6 that bordered on money laundering, charging him with only count 1 to 4 that borders on naira abuse. The Federal High Court, however, reserved sentence until April 9 and ordered that Bobrisky be remanded in custody of the EFCC till then. In a similar development, Ajakako, Beast of Two Worlds, the movie premiere that projected Bobrisky before these controversies, has so far grossed 101.2 million naira just within 5 days of its release. The epic film was released nationwide last month, March 29. Recall that the producer of the film, Eniola Ajawu, said that Bobrisky was awarded the best dressed female in the movie premiere because the production team of the movie wanted to project the movie using Bobrisky's fame. And I raised the question if that move was going to make or mar the production. But you can see that the controversy that surrounded Bobrisky's award popularized the movie and made it sell. But now they have gotten what they wanted and Bobrisky facing trials. How do we reconcile this? Well, let's await how things would pan out and the final judgment of the court. Let's talk about sports. Following the 2-0 loss at the friendly match with Mali last month, the Super Eagles of Nigeria this week was dethroned 2 steps back from the FIFA latest men's ranking. The ranking was released on Thursday and the Super Eagles slightly declined from the 28th position to the 30th position. But despite the drop in FIFA ranking, Super Eagles still maintains their 3rd position in Africa, coming behind the Atlas Lions of Morocco and the Terehan Lions of Senegal. You see, this is why every match matters a lot, whether friendly or competition, because it impacts on both continents and world ranking of FIFA, and also counts on the metrics of how many times a team defeated another team, lost or played draw. For instance, the total number of matches the Super Eagles may win, draw or lose will definitely impact on the next FIFA ranking. So that is why it is very important. Also on sports, the Super Falcons of Nigeria on Friday defeated their South African counterpart 1-0 at the Moshood Abiola International Stadium, Abuja, for the Paris 2024 qualifiers. The goal came from Ajibade as a penalty shot in the 43rd minute after Chinwendu Ihezuo was brought down in the box. That was their first leg of the game, and the second leg will come up on April 9 in Pretoria, South Africa. The winner on aggregate score will pick the Paris 2024 Olympics ticket. That is where we draw the curtain this week, and I hope you found your time here pleasant. My name remains Gozie. Please be a good citizen or resident of wherever you are listening from. Bye.